Hi everyone and welcome to Season 5, Episode 7 of From Hope to Glory at Truro City with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So, recent form has been a little bit mixed to say the very least. It hasn't been fantastic and there's a bunch of clubs circling just below us in the table, bit like vultures waiting for us to continue to slip up. Today, we play Morecambe, who are sitting in 18th. We really need the 3 points to continue our push towards automatic promotion. Can we get them? Let's find out. So I wasn't kidding about the recent form not being particularly great. You can see as we look back over the last few games, the last time you and I were together was for Accrington Stanley, where we got a 1-1 draw. And it's sort of challenged us since then, really. It hasn't been an awful lot better. We did get through against Stockton in the FA Trophy, but only after extra time. We really struggled to get going in that particular match. We've got the quarter-final of that competition coming up in a little while in game, but the focus for us has purely got to be this League 2 run-in, trying to get to the automatic promotion spots. Top 3 go up. We currently have one of those in our possession, sitting in second position, but there are a bunch of clubs sitting just behind us, the sort of next 4 or 5 clubs all there, like vultures, as I say, waiting for us to continue to slip up more. You can see that we lost against Southend, who are running away with the league title this season, it must be said. We then only drew against Bolton and then lost against Exeter as well, who are struggling a little bit this season. So you can see that form really did dip for that little while. We did get a couple of good wins in the last couple of games, but only narrowly. We beat Stevenage and Burton just by that 1 goal each time. So we've regained a little bit of momentum, but today against Morecambe, it's really important that we do continue to push for that automatic spot of promotion to League 1 by getting another 3 points. Can we do it? Let's find out. So we have one significant piece of injury issue, and that's to McJanet, who is just an interesting case this year. I think it's a bug in the game. I've seen other people now mention it on Twitter. All season long, he and his parent club Luton have been suggesting that he's not happy not being played in the position that we said he would be, even though he's being played in the position we said he would be. So it's causing a little bit of a problem. He's got 16 goals in 25 league appearances, which isn't bad at all at this level. That's pretty decent, but I was expecting a little bit more from him, to be honest, because of his exploits in the last couple of seasons. But anyway, that's one of those things, and he has picked up quite a long injury. He's going to be out for the next 3 to 5 weeks. It's pretty much most of the rest of the season, bearing in mind it will take him a while to get back up to match sharpness as well. So he's pretty much done and dusted for the season, so we've had to rejig the front line, but other than that, everybody's been rotated a little bit here and there. Everybody's reasonably fit and healthy. We still have the issues that we were talking about last episode of this central midfield player on the right and on the right side of central defence as well. These two players, whoever you put in, not having particularly good matches and not really offering too much in terms of average rating. It's a bit of a problem really, but we just have to go with what we've got. So for today's match against Morecambe in the SkyBet League 2, we have Roberts in goal, Fink at right back, Devine at left back, Bowery and Whitmore in central defence, Bucock and Williams in central midfield, Wright Phillips on the right, D'Souza on the left, and Hull and Ball up top, with a bench of Kazoo, Dunlan, Rossiter, Walker, Knowles, Salam and Neil. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So I've tried to rile them up by suggesting that it's time to keep our run going by winning this match, and I expect them to do so. Let's see if they can deliver on this particularly challenging stage now where the pressure is really mounting to continue to perform in the latter parts of this season just to secure one of those automatic promotion spots. You can see that we're getting many more fans in the ground these days than we used to when we started out, which is great to see. And we've also recently had an upgrade in terms terms of capacity on our stadium as well. And there's a chance for Hull, but very narrow in his shooting opportunity, and it didn't really challenge the goalkeeper too much. Having said that, we did win a corner from it. A corner comes in and they get it partially cleared. Bucock is going to pick up the loose ball, drop it back to Fink, get the ball back again. So yeah, we have got a higher capacity in our stadium now, about 1,000 added extra seats and standing positions, which is fantastic moving forward. D'Souza out wide left to ball cuts the cross in. Hull wasn't quite in the right place, or the ball wasn't delivered in the right place, and it looks like Morecambe are coming away on a counter-attack down that left-hand side. We've regained our shape a little bit. Can we keep the shape and maybe get a foot in somewhere? Not quite sure what happened there, but Ball intercepts the ball there, and then Hull... I'm not really sure what happened. Was that a long ball out from our defence, or did a striker boot it against a defender? Either way, it found its way. What happened? Oh no, it was D'Souza on the volley that puts a first-time ball over for Charlie Ball. He doesn't quite get the better of the defence, and then on the follow-up, Hull from just on the top of the edge of the box manages to get it past the whole crowd of players in front of him, and we go 1-0 up after 15 minutes of the game. So that settles down the nerves a little bit, and you can see immediately that in terms of the statistics for the match, 4 shots at goal, 3 on target already for us, only 1-1 for them, and we are now not quite 2-0 up. We almost were. The free kick came in, there was a decent opportunity, but we'd strayed just offside in the early run of the central area there from Wright Phillips, and he'd managed to stray in an offside position, and so the goal doesn't quite count. But all the pressure coming from my Truro City side, and again it's Wright Phillips with a header from a good cross in, and again it goes slightly over the top of the bar, so we're still putting the pressure on, not quite getting the quality just where we need it to convert the chances just at the moment though. Another left-sided throw-in for Devine down this left-hand side. Ball with a... not a very good ball from Ball, was it really? Oh dear. He had plenty of time just to hold himself and compose himself, and doesn't manage it. And what on earth happened there? There was a long ball over the top. Davison runs onto it for Morecambe. And what on earth was Alfie Roberts doing? Just as the point where he gets into the box, Alfie Roberts moves into a slightly weird position. Don't quite see it from that angle, but it left the near post open, and the ball was slotted into it for a 1-1 draw at half-time. And from a very, very good start, where we were putting them under a lot of pressure and having a lot of chances, the second half of that first half was very, very disappointing. All of the chances slowed up immensely. And then we conceded a really, really weak goal just on that 45th minute of the first half. You can see that we dominated the chances created. We've had a reasonable game so far. But that last couple of seconds has really put a dampener on it. So we're going to have to go into half-time maybe slightly less happy than we were and tell the players such. Thrash the arms about. I'm far from pleased with you. Get back out there, make the difference. Once we're out there, immediately into the shouts to fire up the team. We're going to go from balanced into positive. The game is there for us to take because they were not as particularly dangerous other than that last minute in that first half. We dominated a lot of the game and really had a number of chances. So if we can just get on the front foot again in this early part of the second half and maybe have a chance or two, I think the game is still there to win. But very, very disappointing end to that first half. Anyway, we played it quite nicely in midfield for a while, but then dropped it back all the way to the goalkeeper, who goes very long over the top. Hull runs onto it, and then the defender gets back really well to put the challenge in the penalty box. Any mistake would have led to a penalty, but he got it spot on, and Morecambe were able to clear their lines in the end. But a decent ball over the top from Alfie Roberts, and it's a left-sided throw-in this time for Morecambe. Emerson takes over, and we've got a decent shape in that central defensive area, but with lots of players in front of us. In the end, they went long, and nobody really made the run, and it was easy for Roberts to come out and claim it. The defence were doing pretty decent, but they didn't have to work too hard then, really. We almost lost it down the left-hand side, but D'Souza eventually ends up with the ball, cuts inside, and Williams with a lovely ball on the overlap to Devine, and drops it again back to Williams, back to Devine. There's the cross, and it was D'Souza at the near post from that point that got a header on, but it was just over the top of the bar again. And again, we lack a little bit of quality just in that last moment where we've worked the ball into the box. Let's go and make a couple of personnel changes and see what we can come up with to try and get something from this game, a little bit more than we've got. You can see that we've got an issue in central midfield again, where they're not really performing well. The defence is not doing too badly at all today, really. We've got the likes of Bukoc and Williams and Wright Phillips and D'Souza all on poor ratings. We can only take off 3 of the 4. Which 3 are we going to take off? We're going to take off both wide men. So Knowles comes on the right hand side, Salam on the left hand side. Then we've got one more we can take off. We're going to take Bukoc out and put Rossiter in, who in theory is a very good player for this level, but hasn't quite shown it so far since we bought him in the January transfer window. So we've got 10 minutes left of the game. It's steaming through the game. We're going to go into attacking and just see if we can get anything from this last few minutes. Otherwise, it's going to be another very, very disappointing draw. And it is. Now, it doesn't mean that we're going to lose our spot in these automatic promotion spots just at the moment. But again, the momentum has completely gone out of our play in the last couple of weeks of the season, really. It's not great. I think that we've got to change up something. We may have to revert back to the 4-2-3-1, possibly, just to make us a little bit more defensive and sort of midfield, hold the midfield a little bit better. So that's something I might think about for the next couple of games, just to see if we can sort of implement some a bit more difficulty in beating us, maybe. But for today's match, it didn't quite work out. We started like a steam train and then ran out of steam, and it kind of just drifted away. So analysing this performance is going to be a bit tricky because some of the stats work in our favour. We had a lot of possession. We had a decent amount of shots at goal. Only 5 on target out of the 12 that we created, though. And that may be where we really lost the game, or lost our lead, should I say, was that we weren't converting the chances that we created. We got a 0.97 XG rating, expected goals. Not quite good enough in the end. And the pass completion, again, is in that mid-70s when I just want it to be pushing 80% if we can get it. But anyway, if we go and look a little bit closer, not very much. It's a disappointing result, and it's a real demonstration of how the momentum has gone out of this group of players just at the moment. We had a bad patch a couple of games ago, and it's just really dented the confidence, it feels like. So a good amount of created chances, but a lot of them in and around this kind of circular line here that were all slightly long distance and not quite where we really normally create our chances, at the top of the 6-yard box to the penalty spot kind of thing. So a little bit disappointing there, and we didn't convert enough of them. We did keep Morecambe to a few chances, so they did well to get their goal off their expected goals ratio of 0.78. And again, they sat really deep compared to us, and we should have been able to pin them down a little bit, push them back in even further and create some chances. But because I guess they were so compact and deep, it was very difficult to break them down, and in the end we failed to do it. So if we go and have a look at the shots that we created for today, here's the goal that we scored from just outside the box. Hull on the follow-up, if you remember, from a Charlie Ball effort. We had 2 that were off target. Unfortunately, these ones here were from inside the 6-yard box. If you're off target there, something's kind of gone wrong, hasn't it, a bit, really? We hit the woodwork, which is unfortunate. We had 4 that were saved by the keeper and another 4 that were blocked by the defence. So we created chances, but they weren't particularly fantastic chances today. A lot of them were long distance, and that's a bit of an unfortunate problem. So let's go straight into the unsuccessful passes. You can see that there are a bunch of them in here that we should be feeding through. It might be time for a little bit of a change up in style of play, maybe. We are potentially in need of a little bit more control of the ball, I feel like. So we'll see what we can do with that in the next couple of games. But in the passing stakes, we had 6 key passes, but I'm not quite sure why these are considered key passes. Why that one from there to there is a key pass, I'm not really sure. I just feel really disappointed today that we didn't quite perform at the level that we should do, considering the difference in the golf in where we are in the league itself. They're down in 18th position, and we're trying to fight for one of those automatic promotion spots. Again, it demonstrates, I think, that we are batting way above our average, to be honest, in this particular season, and I think it shows occasionally. So let's go and look in the mistakes. There weren't any mistakes, which is good. Let's go and look at the possession stats a little bit, because we gained possession on 90 occasions, and a lot of it was working in this kind of central area here through the likes of our central defenders, Whitmore, and the other one being Bowery. So they're doing a decent enough job. You can see Whitmore's number 5 getting all over the place, and then we've got a lot in the fullback area as well, so that's decent. But we lost possession on 103 occasions, and again, that's, I think, where one of the things that we now need to start improving. We've got some reasonably good ball players in that central midfield area potentially, but it doesn't feel like they're being used quite in the way that they should be. And we had this is just genius. We had 625 touches of the ball, and it's just a C. What are you supposed to do with that? Okay. Anyway, here is our heat map. You can see that attacking central midfield wise, we were doing fairly decent. And the likes of D'Souza coming in off that left-hand side, we were working the ball to this point very well. But just moving it in and around the penalty box was our downfall today, and it didn't really work out for us. Anyway, that's going to basically do it. We were really disappointing in that second half. We had an opportunity to get back in the game, I felt, and really push at them. We tried, and it just didn't quite come off. And in the end, we got a 1-1 draw, another point, which is good, but it could have been so much more. So it does have all the makings of a bit of a nervy run-in, doesn't it, really? You can see that we've got like half a dozen games left to play, a bit more than that, what's that, 8 games left to play. Most of them in the SkyBet League 2. We've still got the FA Trophy going on as well, but all of our attention goes into this run of fixtures in the SkyBet League 2, leading up to Wrexham on the final day of the season. I'm kind of hoping that by the time we get there, we might have had it all sewn up and definitely be in one of those promotion spots. But there's no guarantee of that. So if anything interesting or really important happens in terms of, I feel like there's a game in here that's got significance, then we will come back in and play it if need be. Other than that, though, we'll come back at the end of the season and play Wrexham on the last day and just see where that leaves us at the end of this particular season. There's also obviously the possibility that we get a cup final in the FA Trophy as well, so we'll have to figure that one in. But overall, it's going to be, the next episode will be the last day of the season, just to tie it all together and see, have we managed to do enough to get automatic promotion to League 1 when we were predicted to finish 19th in this particular season? We'll have to wait and see. Join me for the next episode, though, to find that out. Until then, though, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button for me. Help me get seen by lots more people, and keep up to date with all the videos, and show me that you're invested in the content, all of the good stuff that helps to move this channel forward. If you could do that, that's great. Until next time, though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.